Hello, first graders! Welcome to the writing section of your phonics today. Making sure you are sitting up straight and tall. Tuck your chair in underneath your seat. Your belly's touching your table. Your back's touching the back of your chair. All right, holding on to your paper. The first sound is ah-oh-oo. Say it with me. Ah-oh-oo. Go ahead and write it. This is an O, starting at 2 o'clock. Go around the clock up to 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, around the clock, up to 2 o'clock. Say ah-oh-oo. 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 Nice job, my friends. If you are not to the end of the line, go ahead and push pause. Our next sound is say it with me. Go ahead and write it. Starting at the top line, pulling straight down, up and over the top of the clock. Starting at the top line, pulling straight down, up and over the top of the clock. And we say making sure that this is fat enough to fit a clock inside. Straight down, up and over the top of the clock. Straight down, up and over the top of the clock. If you are not at the end of the line, go ahead and push pause. All right, our next sound is I. Say it with me. I. All righty, go ahead and write it. Remember, this one's easy peasy. Starting at the middle line, pulling straight down, float your dot. Middle line, pulling straight down, float your dot. I. 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 If you are not at the end of the line, go ahead and push pause. The next sound is E. Say it with me. E. Go ahead and write it, making sure that this is a pointy letter, no round ones. So that means we need to pull straight over, up and around the clock. 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 Look at all my pointy E's. Hopefully you have pointy E's, no round E's. All right, go ahead and pause the video if you're not at the end of the line. The next sound is G. Say it with me. G. All right, let's write it. Starting at 2 o'clock, around the clock, up to 2, pull down past the baseline and around the bottom of the clock. G. Making sure that the tail here is big enough to fit a clock letter. G. Also making sure you're not picking up your pencil. I know sometimes friends like to pick up their pencil between the clock letter part and the tail. If you are not to the end of the line, go ahead and push pause. Moving on to the next letter is J. So this letter only says J. Remember, we start at the midpoint, we pull down past the baseline and go around the bottom of the clock, just like the tail of the G. Float your dot. Starting at the midpoint, around the bottom of the clock, float your dot. Midpoint, around, float your dot. And we say J. Float my dot. J. Float my dot. J. Float my dot, and J. Float my dot. If you are not to the end of the line, go ahead and push pause. Our next sound is K. So this is the letter that only says K. This is a K. So remember, it's a tall letter, so we pull straight down. We want to go from the top to the bottom, but then the arm and the legs start at the middle point and they go in, then out. So it's tall, and then it's a short arm and short leg. Tall, short arm, short leg. Tall, short arm, short leg. And then we say k, 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 k. If you are not to the end of the line yet, go ahead and push pause. Our next sound is ooh. Say it with me. Ooh. This one might be even easier than the I. Starting at the top line, pull straight down. That's it. Top line, pull straight down. Top line, pull straight down. Just making sure it's touching the top line and it's touching the bottom line. And it does need to be straight. We don't want it kind of going that way. Just pull straight down, pull straight down, pull straight down. Just making sure it's not floating. You want it sitting on that bottom line and you want it touching that top line. And that is oh, oh, oh. Nice job, my friends. Okay, so let's write some words today. Let's practice the og family. And I know we've practiced this one before, but we have some new letters that I think we'll be able to do some new words. The og family. So in og, we have g. So that's a, o, u, and g, j. So if we write g. I kind of ran out of room for my tail there. So what if we put a J in front of the og? So let's sound it. We have j, og, j, og, jog. So let's start our J, starting at that middle point, down, around, whoops, the bottom of the clock. Float your dot. G. Keep going off the page. Jog. Nice job. What if we change the J for an H? Let's sound it. So we have og, 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 hog. Okay, so we start with our H, up and over the top of the clock. Ah and g. Hog. Okay, I love it. We're going to do one more. What if we change the H for an L? So then we have og, 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 log. So start at the top line, pull straight down, start at 2, around the clock to 2, and 2, around the clock to 2, and around the clock underneath. Log. Let's go through and read all of these words. So if you have not finished writing them, go ahead and push pause. We have og, jog, hog, log. Let's read them again. Og, jog, hog, log. And these are all real words, except for og. So jog means like you're almost running, but not quite a full run. Hog is kind of like another name for a pig. Hog. And log is like when you cut a tree down and you just have the trunk, we call that a log. You could call that a log. Okay, and I know that all of these words rhyme. Do you know how I know that they rhyme? Well, I can look at them and I can see that every word has OG. Og. O-G. Og. O-G. Og and O-G. Og. That means that the end of all of these words have the same 2 letters. That for sure means that they rhyme. Here's the other way I know that they rhyme, is when I listen, it sounds the same. Let's hear. Og, jog, hog, log. They all sound the same. I hope that you were able to learn some of the sounds today for your phonics. I am so excited to see you next time. Thanks for all your hard work today, friends.